Hi, everyone, and welcome to the WP Minute. I'm your host, Eric Karkovac. Today's episode features a segment from my interview with Steve Burge. Steve is the founder of Ramble Ventures, the company behind popular plugins like PublishPress and Logtivity. You'll find the full interview over on our WP Minute Plus podcast. Visit thewpminute.com for all the details. You've written books on several of these systems, including Joomla, Drupal. How does WordPress compare in your mind? And was there you have experience with these different open source platforms? What is it about WordPress that made you want to dedicate your business to these products, to that ecosystem?
They being Matt, maybe, WordPress got the product business side of things right. Drupal really didn't allow you to sell modules in their case, their version of plugins. And Joomla just didn't really have the business behind it to drive the growth, to drive the all the different structures you need to support a big project. You need you think of all the hours the automatic staff have dedicated to WordPress over the years. Joomla just didn't have that. So Joomla didn't have the business behind it. Drupal didn't have the business structure allowing companies to sell modules, sell plugins. WordPress got it right in terms of allowing a ecosystem of small businesses to grow up around it.
Yeah, I mean, if we were just focusing on core and only the ability to provide free modules, free plugins, I mean, I think the contributions to WordPress would be quite a bit smaller, and we wouldn't have. I mean, even the freemium plugins that we have now, we take for granted, just like Yoast, for example. Anyone who can install a free SEO plugin that does a lot of good things for you and upgrade, but that doesn't exist without the kind of ecosystem that we've built here.
You can see the same thing, I think, in the SaaS world, that I'm not as familiar with it as I am with the open source world, but to my understanding, Shopify has won in that kind of space by allowing a huge ecosystem to grow up around it, whereas Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, I don't think Webflow does either. They're much more locked down. I don't think I've ever met anyone who has made a good living by selling add-ons to Wix. But some businesses, some projects get it right. And WordPress did, and Shopify has done in recent years too.
So how do you think WordPress is doing right now in terms of publishing? I know, obviously PublishPress is all about workflow. TaxoPress does a lot of that as well. Where do you think its strengths lie right now, and where do you think maybe it should be improved?
Ooh, are we talking publishing for ordinary people, publishing for enterprises?
I guess the ability to create your own workflow, publishing workflow. So probably more on the higher end.
Well, there is none. Everything has to be, all of that is in the realm of plugins, which is not a knock on WordPress, I guess, because they have the 80% philosophy, and those workflow tools are not for the 80% of people. Even people with several staff members all writing content can normally get away with just using draft, pending review, and published. That's enough. The workflow tools are really for the 10%, the 20% to have much bigger teams. Let's say we've done work with pharmaceutical companies where they're very much at the 1% end of the spectrum, where if they publish something incorrect on their website, like some incorrect medical information, they're in a world of hurt They need to get it right. But that's 0.1% use stuff. So is WordPress doing very well when it comes to publishing workflows? No, but I think it's fine to leave that for plugin territory. There's no contact form in the WordPress core, for example. No e-commerce. All of that's plugin territory.
Yeah, I think we get a little greedy sometimes about what we want in core, right? I mean, you see it online over and over again. Why don't we do this? Why don't we have that? And in a lot of times, it's really just a niche use, right? It's not something that, as you said, everybody's going to want. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to have a publishing workflow, but I could also just grab a copy of PublishPress and, and refine it and of who can do what, and, have different statuses and review systems in place. That's kind of the beauty of WordPress. You're not stuck with one way to do things.